I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to go to prizepicks.com right now. Enter the code word Ref Brandon and get double your deposit up to $100. All you got to do is go to prizepicks.com and enter the keyword Ref Brandon. Now today here on the channel we're going to be talking some college football. We've already talked about the 2022 season rankings and season totals for Pac-12 quarterbacks, Big Ten quarterbacks, and SEC quarterbacks. So today we're going to do the same thing for ACC quarterbacks. And as I was writing this list down, I was kind of puzzled and baffled at how many of the quarterbacks have transferred and are no longer with the same team. Now, of course, I already knew in advance how many of them had left because we've talked about it numerous times here on the channel. But it just never really catches your attention and makes you think until you start writing down all the quarterbacks in one conference and you get done and look back and realize that about half of them are going to be playing for a different team next year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the 2022 season rankings for ACC quarterbacks. And there's 15 on the list. Of course, there's only 14 schools, but since Phil Jurkovec of Boston College missed so much time, they have 2 quarterbacks on the list. The best quarterback in the ACC was Jordan Travis. Of course, he plays for Florida State. Quarterback rating of 85.3, 3,214 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. And the QBR on these quarterbacks absolutely drives me crazy, because when you just click on the conference rankings and it ranks the quarterbacks from top to bottom based on QBR, their QBR will be one number. But then if you click on the quarterback's name to try to get his overall season stats, the QBR is something different. So I don't know if the ESPN write-up that just has them listed from top to bottom with QBR is only counting the regular season, or if the ESPN write-up is counting the bowl game, and when you click on their actual name, that one is not counting the bowl game. But every single quarterback you click on the home page where the quarterbacks are listed top to bottom, their QBR is one number, but then when you click on their name to get their complete stats, their QBR is different. So I just wrote down the one that was on the home page, whether that's just the regular season or counting the bowl game, I don't know. Number 2, Drake May. He was 82.7, 4,321 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Number 3, the first guy on the list who has transferred and will be playing somewhere different next year, Sam Hartman. Of course, he played for Wake Forest this past year. 75.3 QBR, 3,701 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Number 4 is honestly probably a guy that would surprise most people because of who he plays for, because you don't look at them as a football school. Even though they were really, really good this past year, they definitely overachieved. But he's actually a really good quarterback, and that is Duke's quarterback, Riley Leonard. 72.9, 2,967 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Number 5, Malik Cunningham. 70.7 QBR, 1,568 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Number 6, Garrett Schrader. 69 exactly for the QBR, 2,640 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Number 7, another guy that's transferred, played this past season at Clemson. DJU had a QBR of 64.4, 2,521 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Devin Leary, who has transferred from NC State, but he had a QBR of 55.3, 1,265 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Number 9, Tyler Van Dyke. And I might be wrong, but I want to say I read an article on him back in December as soon as the season ended, and I think he was considering and thinking about transferring, but he is still at Miami, so whether I dreamed it or not, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was thinking about transferring, but at least for now, he's still there. 51.7, 1,844 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Number 10 was the Pittsburgh quarterback this past year, Keaton Slovis. 45.9 QBR, 2,397 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Number 11, Grant Wells, 45.3, 2,171 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Number 12, Brennan Armstrong, who has transferred from Virginia. Now he is at NC State. This past year, he had a QBR of 44 with 2,210 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Number 13, Jeff Sims, 43.4, 1,115 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And the bottom 2 were the BC quarterbacks, Moorhead and Jurkovec. 42.1 for Moorhead, 36.1 for Jurkovec as far as QBR. 1,250, you might as well say, passing yards for Moorhead, and 1,700 for Jurkovec. Moorhead had 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and Jurkovec had 11 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. So combined, it's almost right at 3,000 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Of course, Jurkovec has since left Boston College and transferred to Pittsburgh, and I hope Boston College has a backup plan that does not include Moorhead, because if he is going into the 23 season as their starting quarterback, they're in for a long season. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Don't forget to check out hfotusa.org. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since its inception in 2004, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Again, visit them at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. How was the handsome runner described? Dashing. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.